The Staples-Motley School District's buildings were recently assessed to determine if they meet the standards for education, safety, security, and building operations. In 18 benchmark categories defined by the Minnesota Department of Education, 75% of our facilities were identified as substandard. 75. The proposed improvements included in the upcoming referendum on May 14th are critical to the success of our school district and our community. The first question of the referendum requests funding to address space needs, safety and security issues, and deferred maintenance.
Natural lighting came across as the #1 need and desire from not only our faculty but our students. Nearly 2/3 of our classrooms have no look to the outside. Natural light is a great addition to a school, primarily for student learning and achievement.
Being comfortable in the classroom makes everybody a little bit happier. With the restructuring of our students in the buildings right now, this is the time to do it.
Career and technical education has made its strong return into high schools. Our facilities are nearly 80 years old, and despite the talents of our staff and our students, we simply can't make the parts needed to repair some of the equipment that we currently have. The main gym is pushing 80 years old. The needs have changed for our student athletes, not only in their practices, but their training during the season, after the season, and preseason. Our fine arts programs are not only locally respected and appreciated, they are at the state level. We've got a great auditorium. It's time to finish it.
Our kitchen space is very limited. The kids, when they come to our lunchroom, they have a small space where they come in and get their food, but then they walk down the long hallway. Our cooler is outside and the freezer is outdoors. So for the long winter months, that becomes a big hazard really for our staff. Having them go outside 4 or 5 times a day is not a good thing. The proposal includes a new cafeteria and kitchen for the elementary, which would really help us in our day-to-day operations. And if we were to have events in the future, that would really help to have that all in one location. The addition would also include some classroom spaces that we could utilize for hands-on learning with a bigger space that's designed for career and tech ed pre-learning skills.
25% of our student population is special needs kids. The needs every year seem to be increasing, and with the current setting that we have in facilities, our rooms get cramped. We can't provide the services that we need for those kiddos.
The facility improvements that we're proposing for access to our sites are important not only for our current students and faculty, but our communities that visit us, that come here. Student safety first and foremost, but really getting up to what is expected in the 21st century with a public facility.
Pick-up and drop-off sites have been a concern of parents and of the school staff, and so we're going to be looking at relocating and separating the drop-offs and the pickups. There are several areas in both of our buildings that are not ADA compliant. Another issue that we have to address is the lack of sprinkling systems in parts of our buildings. This is not only a safety measure, but it's also a requirement of the State Department.
Electrical is spread out throughout the building with breaker panels all over the place. We have some rooms that are 80 degrees and some rooms that are 60 degrees. We do have issues with our 1936 addition. Water piping in there has been soldered with lead solder. We've posted that the water is not suitable for drinking. The roof systems on the elementary school and the high school are both basically at the end of life. Hazards of water being on the floor, somebody could slip and fall. Garbage cans sitting out in the hallways. We still have asbestos in our buildings. We do periodical checks of it, but it would really be nice to have it removed for our student and staff safety.
If the first question passes, taxes would increase by about $20 per month for an average value home in our school district. However, our voting community will only be financially responsible for 42% of the total request. The rest will come from property owners who live out of our school district and are ineligible to vote, as well as the state of Minnesota's Ag-to-School tax credit. The second question of the referendum requests funding for a Staples-Motley Activity Center.
The current community center opened in 1974 and has multiple accessibility and code issues. The useful life of that building really is coming to an end. We have many users of the community center throughout our entire community, and it would be a shame if that type of facility was no longer available.
The proposed activity center is going to be offering a 6-lane pool. It has a gym, lockers, multi-purpose rooms, and a place for senior citizens. If question 2 passes, Lakewood would contribute $1.5 million to be able to have a walking track for our community.
The new activity center design in conjunction with the elementary school space is very interesting. We would have access to the kitchen, cafeteria, the other gymnasium space and locker room spaces in addition to the activity center space. People look at schools, they look at community amenities when deciding where they want to live. Having recreational facilities like the activity center are critical to draw people to live in our community.
If the second question passes, taxes would increase by about $5 per month. Again, our voting community will only be financially responsible for 42% of this request. If the referendum fails, the district will be forced to use non-voter approved money through long-term facility maintenance revenue as allowed by state statute. Visit our website to learn more.
Please vote.
Please vote.
Please vote.